So the Rane 1 is an absolutely incredible product that I've been using and DJing with since 2021. Its motorized splatters, quality finish, and paddle effects just made DJing on this thing more enjoyable than DJing on a traditional turntable setup, at least for me. And so when Rane announced the Rane 4, which is basically a Rane 1 with 4 channels, internal effects, and stem controls, but without those motorized splatters, I was a bit skeptical. But after using this thing for a couple of months now, I can honestly say that I prefer the Rane 4 over the Rane 1 and even the DJ Rev 7, solely because of its game-changing stem control features, which basically makes DJing fun again. The Rane 4 is Rane's latest 4-channel offering, featuring everything you would expect from a top-tier high-end DJ controller, such as 8.5-inch capacitive jog wheels with color displays, RGB performance pads, Mag4 crossfader, paddle effects, a solid bulletproof construction, and a plethora of professional ins and outs. But my favorite features would be the newly designed internal effects suite with 22 effects, 4 knob control channel effects, OLED visual pad displays, and of course, its various stem control features, which are stem split mode, dedicated instrumental/acapella buttons, and stem performance pad mode. Now, to save you some time, here's my upfront conclusion. So if you're in the market for the best 4-channel Serato DJ controller, look no further because this is it. The Rane 4 just offers everything you would need for pro DJing, mobile DJing, as well as creative DJing. And that last bit is the sole reason why I would rather use the Rane 4 over every other 4-channel controller out there. Its dedicated stem features is its biggest selling point and strength, because no other gear in this market offers this level of stem control. So making creative mixes and doing insane transitions is a whole lot easier on this unit than the majority of DJ gear in this price range. Now it sounds like I'm gushing because I totally am, but I hope you guys try to see things from my perspective. I review a lot of DJ gear, and DJ gear at this price range pretty much offer the same thing: premium feel, premium quality, high level stability, and a great DJing experience. But the Rane 4 does all of that, plus has this game-changing feature which pretty much takes creative DJing to another level. So with that said, let's dive deeper into the Rane 4 and really go into the details of this $1,699 DJ controller. The Rane 4 is the first controller to fully integrate Serato stems into its design and comes with a plethora of buttons to control and activate your stems. Down by the performance pads, at the push of a button, your pads instantly become stem controls where you can play around with your song's vocals, melody, bass, and drum tracks individually. Right beside the pads, you've got a dedicated stem section that'll instantly turn your tracks into an acapella or instrumental. Adjacent to the jog wheel, you have another section dedicated to stem split. Now this is an innovative new feature which will split your song's vocals and instrumentals onto different channels, with vocals going on channels 1 and 2 while the instrumentals go on channels 3 and 4. This means you can control and manipulate each stem's EQ and volume individually via the mixer section. To be honest with you, 4-deck mixing with different tracks isn't my thing, but stem mixing with 4 channels, now that's a feature that's hard for me to live without. Moving on to the performance pads. The Rane 4 has 8 RGB performance pads per deck which double for rolls, samplers, slicers, beat jumps, and so much more. These feel solid to the touch and have a nice bounce to them. It's also worth mentioning that nearly all the other buttons, like your loop section, are convex, meaning they fall inwards and kind of hug your finger when you press down on them. On the topic of great design, the Rane 4 features industry-first OLED visual pad displays right above your performance pads, and these tell you exactly what each pad does. Another thing to take note of on the Rane 4 is that unlike other DJ controllers, there are dedicated beat jump control buttons located right above the jog wheel. Now, adjacent to each jog wheel, you've also got generously long tempo faders, both of which glide nicely when catching your beat. Now, regarding the jog wheels, what's not to love about the 8.5-inch capacitive jog wheels with central color displays? Aside from the fact that they are not motorized, which in all honesty doesn't bother me at all, as I prefer a more feature-packed controller than a heavier one. Anyway, these jog wheels, like their motorized counterparts, are very responsive. They have a nice solid feel to them, and scratching on these things feel nice and tight. Tight! Like I mentioned a while ago, the center of these jog wheels feature a color display which shows the track's waveform, BPM, hot cues, and so much more. This is a pretty useful feature for DJs who need to know everything about their track at a glance. Overall, the jog wheels are solid. Though they aren't motorized, they do their job perfectly well. Now, if I were to nitpick and name a gripe, I just wish the jog wheel tension could be adjusted, just like how you can do so on the Denon DJ SC6000s and Pioneer DJ CDJs. Moving on to the mixer section, Rane did not hold back on this one. You have your standard 3 EQ bands along with solid and smooth volume faders. What shines brightest here is Rane's Mag 4 tension adjustable cross fader, a staple on their high-end units like the Rane 72 and Rane 1. However, just like the Rane 1, you can't adjust the crossfader's tension without having to open up the fader panel. And in all honesty, this really isn't a big problem because once you adjust your crossfader's tension, you're good to go. Moving on to the effects section. Now, the Rane 4 features one of the most comprehensive internal effects suites I've ever come across, providing you with 22 different effects, with classics like echo and reverb and some unique ones like recycler and matrix. In addition to that, you can even switch over to Serato software-based effects at the touch of a button and accent your mixes even further with the channel effects such as filter, filter roll, noise, and flanger. Combining all these gives you unlimited combo choices for your effects, and in addition to all of that, you can also control your effects beats and BPM using the joystick here, so everything is quite literally at your fingertips. And talking about fingertips, these aluminum paddle effects round off this section. Triggering each effect is nice and easy when you've got the option to quickly flick the paddle to activate them or hold down the paddle to sustain them. The Rane 4 may look like a heavy controller since it's 30 inches wide, but you would be surprised to know that this unit is only 18 pounds. This means carrying this thing to a gig shouldn't be a Herculean task like carrying a full turntable and mixer setup. Now for comparison, controllers in this price range like the Rane 1 and Rev 7 are about 23 pounds, while the DDJ 1000 is at 13 pounds, so the Rane 1 is nicely in the middle. Along with its lightweight design, the Rane 4 meets Rane's high standard for build quality, featuring a solid, bulletproof construction. Flipping around to the rear, the Rane 4 boasts a very complete set of input and output options. There are 2 USB ports, allowing 2 DJs to play seamlessly back to back. And also on the back, you've got both XLR and RCA options for your main output, PL outputs for your booth monitor, and RCA inputs for your 3rd and 4th channels. So if you want to add some extra media players or turntables, the Rane 4 will happily accommodate them. So all in all, is the Rane 4 worth picking up? Well, in all honesty, I can say that this controller is absolutely worth getting your hands on. Now, if you're looking to pick up one of these units, check out the links down below or just go to rane.com. And if you guys want to see even more DJ gear options that may or may not be better than the Rane 4, then check out this video over here.